welcome to Weekends with Whitney. Coming up in this morning's show, a delicious way to get more nutrients into your body, reduce your carbon footprint, and help local farmers. We'll take you to the Red Stick Market for all things fresh. Plus, last week here on the show, we celebrated May Rose Chasson, who's been a second grade teacher for 61 years. Well, it got the attention of some state lawmakers, and this week, they honored her. We'll take you to the Capitol for a front row seat. And Disney's much talked about movie Inside Out hits theaters this week. We'll talk with Dr. Nick about emotions and how we can better put them into words to build a better you. And building a better Bloody Mary. Here's a recipe everyone needs, and it has everything in it from bacon to shrimp. La Creole's Mario will share his secret recipe with us. And the cutest thing we've seen hitting the bottle all week. We'll take you to Valerie's. Remember, she is Molly the kangaroo's mom. Well, look at her new children coming up. But first, it's never been easier to buy fresh local produce and products. No need to buy anything that's traveled thousands of miles to get here when you can go right down the street.
Making you lonely, you can always go downtown.
Hey, how y'all doing? Every Saturday morning, rain or shine, the Red Stick Farmers Market lets you buy fresh and buy local. What you'll find here at the Farmers Market is fruits and vegetables that have just been picked, so of course their nutritional value is up. But also, one of the stipulations to sell here is you have to grow all of your own products. So none of this was shipped in from California. This is right here, made in good old Louisiana.
Good morning, sir. What can I get for you?
William Fletcher owns Fletcher Family Farm in Ponchatoula. He's been here since day one.
Paradise for me. Nothing but hard work, but I love it. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
But he'd like to move all the rain we've had somewhere else.
I don't even know if I could have raised frogs a few weeks ago. Every day it rained, and it rained, and it rained, and I'm several weeks behind. But we'll get it all turned around, and we're looking to have a big push this summer and into the fall with lots of good stuff here at the market.
Here you can find produce and products like old-fashioned stone-ground oatmeal and grits, homemade jams and jellies, local honey, goat cheese, duck eggs, fresh seafood, and prized homegrown tomatoes.
Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes.
You'll even find a few vendors like Tanya Dillon who'll do the cooking for you.
Like I do savory pies and sweet pies, and a lot of times I try to use as much as the fruits and vegetables I can, like fresh blueberries right now. I use a lot of the bell peppers and stuff, chicken. I make chicken pot pies, make it easy for people, you know, gumbos and lentil and black bean soups, all that stuff that's easy. You just come get it heated up.
Red Stick Market celebrates its 20th year soon, but every week someone discovers it for the first time, like Chico Garcia.
I think it's absolutely wonderful. I think it looks like you're selling products at a tailgate, basically is what it looks like.
The Red Stick Market has turned buying local into a sport of its own.
You got your tents popped up here, they're all lined up, everybody knows everybody out here, everybody's communicating, there's repeat customers. I think it's just a Baton Rouge twist to a farmer's market that you may see anywhere else with the tailgating and the hospitality of Southern people.
It's like one big happy family. And on the first Saturday of every month, it also evolves into an art market. So you can come out and see all kinds of beautiful artists, people here in Louisiana doing all kinds of different things. Let's go take a look. Here's a safe deposit box you can really bank on right in your own home. There's stained glass, watercolors, handmade soaps, and dozens of other unique items. And you can find beautifully homemade things that are bigger than some items, of course, like this chair. Cost you a little over $300, but you know what people really, really love about it? Not just the craftsmanship, but the tiger. Go Tigers. Here you'll find artists like Pat Juno from Scott. He's been turning ordinary things into extraordinary since childhood.
I made stuff when I was 5 years old. I used to make stuff. I think my dad did it a lot. You know, he grew up in the Depression, so he always made stuff. If he wanted something, the first thing he would think of is to make it instead of buying it, you know. And of course my mother would say, no, we're going to buy it. But but a lot of things he would make. And so I did the same thing. I made stuff. And it wasn't art by any means, but it was making something, which hardly anybody does anymore.
To make your way downtown, here to Baton Rouge's Red Stick Market, head to the corner of Main Street and 5th Street. It's open 8 a.m. to noon every Saturday.
Downtown.
During the summer, the farmers market will travel to different neighborhoods on different days of the week. So to find out when they might be near a neighborhood near you, go to their website, redstickfarmersmarket.org. And coming up as Weekends with Whitney continues. You met her here on the show last week. Well, this week, the legislature honors May Rose for more than 60 years of teaching. We'll take you there. And Dr. Nick on the best way to bring together our words and emotions and why it's so beneficial. And we get our hands on a secret Bloody Mary recipe you'll love. Mario shows us how it's done. And the cutest creatures we've seen all week as Weekends with Whitney continues.
Maggio, the only way to go. Maggio Buick GMC, your satisfaction's our specialty. We really deliver on Falls River, here in New Roads. Small town atmosphere, legendary service for over 60 years. Maggio, the only way to go. The only way to go, that's Maggio.
This segment brought to you by our friends at Wayne Stabler Companies. Welcome back to Weekends with Whitney. Well, last week we introduced you to an amazing teacher who's been in the classroom 61 years. Good news travels fast because once lawmakers heard about her story, they decided to honor May Rose Chasson at the Capitol this week. Let's go in for the celebration.
May Rose Chasson for more than 60 years as an educator. May Rose Chasson, my second grade teacher. Thank you, Mr.
I want to introduce you to Miss May Rose Chasson from down the line in 10th Ward. And she has a commitment to education, possibly unrivaled in the history of the state. Let's welcome her to the Senate. Oh my God.
It has been a monumental day for Miss Chasson. She joins us this morning with more here at my house. I got the pleasure and joy of being at her house, but it's great to have you here at my house.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, tell me how it felt this morning.
Overwhelming. It was exciting, especially being introduced in the House, and then being introduced in the Senate was more than a surprise, especially when I saw Norby Chasson. And we had a little talk, but going back to the House and talking to Jerry Gisclair, who was my second grade student, it made me feel very proud of him and to know that someone had gotten to that position. And I'm excited. I never dreamed this would possibly happen in my entire life. So I have to thank you and everybody else and everyone in the House who was so nice, and the Senate also. And I guess that's about the most important thing I have to say, and just say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, listen, I think all of us were taken aback a bit. So I want your take on the House honored you, and then some senators caught wind of it, and they said, come on over, we have to do the same.
It's contagious.
It really was. Well, I tell you, teaching more than 60 years is an impressive record. And how have you been able to do it?
It's easy. If you love children and you have the heart and the patience for it, because if you have no patience, you better not go to teaching. And just looking at the smiley faces every day, that gives you a boost. energizes me and it makes me want to work harder.
Well, you energize a lot of people, including me, so I thank you.
Well, you're quite welcome, and thank you for inviting me to your home. It's beautiful.
Kim did this. This is one of her passions, is to make crosses.
Kim, that is beautiful.
Isn't that nice?
Isn't it beautiful?
And she inscribed it on the back for you, so we just wanted to help make this day, you know, a little extra special.
So special.
We've crowned you Louisiana's best teacher, and we dare anyone to argue with that.
Well, thank you so much. That is, and you even have the date.
Yeah.
That is something to remember.
It is. June 9th, 2015.
That's right.
It's a great day. And you will inspire other teachers to either go into the profession or to hang in there just a little bit longer, because you know what they'll say from now on? If May Rose can do it, I can do it.
Well, I know they can do it, so let them try.
That's right.
I did this not for years. I did it because I just couldn't wait for school to start.
You say this is going to be your last year teaching, which will make 62 years. Do you think you'll really be able to say this is my last one?
It all depends what happens from here to the next year.
True, true. And what they need, because all it takes, evidently, is a knock at the door.
You never can tell. Maybe the one upstairs might say another year.
Oh, great.
You never can tell.
Best of luck.
I'll tell you what, when I do retire, Mr. B, our principal, said I wasn't finished. So evidently he's got plans for me.
Oh, yes. You were going to be there in some
I'll be there in
capacity.
some capacity.
So
I might be going over his shoulder and saying, what are you doing today? You need some help?
in an education, you always can.
Oh.
But it'll be nice for you to be able to do it on your time schedule.
Right.
Much more Weekends with Whitney coming up right after this. Discover your art of living at Dixon Smith Interiors. With 10,000 square feet of inspired interiors, it's easy to bring beauty home. Create a unique interior that reflects your exterior. Translate what you love into where you live. For 60 years, Dixon Smith has refined the art of style, space, and comfort. You're a work of art. Your home should be too. Embrace your art of living at Dixon Smith Interiors in the heart of Baton Rouge. Discover Dixon.
Give the gift of fine dining. Wayne Stabler Companies is offering one card for four. Le Creole, The Little Village, Stab's Steak and Seafood. 4 sizzling restaurants, one card.
Welcome back to Weekends with Whitney. Well, this summer, Disney has a movie coming out called Inside Out. It's all about emotions. And Dr. Nick joins us this morning to talk about emotions in children and adults. Do we ever really learn to deal with them, and much more? Great to see you.
Good to see you, Whitney. Can't wait for the movie.
I can't either.
I mean, they really put out some great educational stuff. That's really wonderful.
Even the trailers look marvelous.
Because emotions are wonderful. So let's start off by me asking you the basic question.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm great.
Great. How's your day going?
It's going terrific.
How's everything at the house?
Wonderful.
Okay. Do you hear what happens?
It's
blah.
Yeah.
You know, how was school?
Yeah.
Fine. How was school? Fine. Okay.
This is something new that you're doing in therapy, and I'm fascinated by this.
I think again, it's been around forever.
But you're using it.
As you know, and some of the audience knows, you know, I've had a difficult few months. So I go to see a good friend of mine who's a therapist, and I sit down, and he pulls out a sheet similar to this.
Okay.
And he says, Nikki, tell me some of the feelings that have been going on inside of you, and how some of your emotions. And I'm like, oh, well, it's just been tough. And he pulls out a list.
And there's only 50 emotions.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm frustrated, I'm somewhat ashamed, I've got some depression going on, but I'm hopeful. And I start getting teary-eyed. Now, I'm 60 years old with a degree, and I need a sheet of paper to help me struggle with my feelings. But it's real. You know, we sit at home and we talk to our kids and say, well, how was your day? Well, they're going to say fine.
Fine. So ask better questions, right?
Ask more specific questions. What was the one thing that stood out today in school? Oh, I hit a home run. Oh my God, how did you feel when you hit the home run, and you've got the sheet to help them, and you can add feelings to it. The point of having feeling words in front of you and images is that you don't have to think so hard. So that means it helps pop up, because the natural impulse is to say good, fine, great, and yet we're missing. I'm working with someone, and he was talking about, he was avoiding every feeling, and I said, the one feeling that you've never used is you've never said, I'm hurt. I'm hurting. And he has now started to say, that hurts.
Why is that so important that he did that? What does he get out of saying, I'm hurt?
He owned the emotion, and he didn't throw his finger out at somebody else and say, you did this to me. You made me act this way. You're the cause of all my problems. He owned the fact that hurt. Your behavior, whether it was intended or not, hurt me.
And then where do you go with that?
Then you start looking at how we might figure out a way for either me to dodge the bullet when you get that way.
Okay.
Right? Not take that on because that's about you. Or we can distract ourselves to find things that make us feel better. We can put ourselves in other situations. But again, it's almost back to how we set it up. One of the reasons why therapy, I think, can be so powerful for people is because it pushes them into the internal world. What's going on inside of me? I really am sad about this. Then be sad. And sometimes it's really very rational to be sad.
Sure. Or frustrated. You know, that one on here, I get that way a lot.
Frustrated. And what is frustrated? I feel like I'm hitting my head against the wall all the time.
Well, and then sometimes you can't do anything about it.
Right.
And that adds to more frustration.
Now,
but how do I get to the
I was going to say, you take your frustration now and you get in your head and said, okay, what's really causing the frustration? What's going on in my head? What might be going on? I'm thinking of an example. That's a fair one. An example might be, I think when you started the show, you had maybe 2 cameras and it was very frustrating, and now you've got 4. Okay?
Right.
So you were able to get in your head and say the frustration is that I don't feel like I've got enough cameras. You could do something about it, okay? But there may be some frustration in that my head's telling me Reed is driving me crazy. Okay, and then I want to say,
16-year-old.
and then I want to say, Whitney, why don't you put in your head Reed is 16?
Oh, I see.
And Whitney, do you remember when you were 16? Do you hear? And then I think you can bring the frustration level down.
Right.
People don't realize that emotions are they're just natural, they're just real, and they need. One of the things I love to do again is instead of at the dinner table or out at a restaurant, again, tell me one thing that you loved about today. Tell me one thing that was hard about today. And when you see a movie together, tell me one thing that really jumped out at you. How was the movie? It was okay. No, tell me something that really struck you and how it struck you. And now you start moving into that emotional realm. It made me feel this. I love movies because they raise emotions.
We're going to have to go see Inside Out.
Yes,
and talk about it. Wouldn't that be fun?
We are going to have to. And then ultimately, Whitney, we want to get to where the emotion doesn't do damage or destroy or hurt other people or ourselves, right? It's okay to be mad. It's not okay to hit.
Sure, absolutely.
And you know, that's another thing. Isn't it funny how we say hitting someone is terrible, but hitting a child is discipline? Well, it's just, I'm thinking, what is the emotion?
Fewer people are saying that now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, think about the emotion and what's that's doing emotionally.
Sure. So if I'm frustrated with my computer, which I get sometimes, I'm not going to throw things against the wall. I'm gonna do a tutorial or go to Apple and say, how do I fix this? Or call an expert or a friend who's an expert.
Or what else could you say? Think of some others real quick. I can do this. I can handle this. This is not the end of the world.
Right.
It'll get done or it won't get done. I'm going to end up in the same size box whether I have the computer or not one day.
Right. I love that. I can do this. Sometimes just that.
Now again, you're putting in a context. I can do this. I can handle this.
Yeah.
This is not that big a deal. There's now a lot of people talking about self-talk, and they're saying you should actually use your name. in the self-talk to change the emotion. Whitney, you can do this. Nikki, you can do this. I think that's interesting.
Sounds like a Seinfeld episode. Whitney's hungry. Whitney needs to go close the door. Whitney needs to feed the dog.
No, it's going to sound like we're working on double personalities. But even then, I think we do have multiple. So
You're right, but emotions are real. They're not going anywhere, and I guess.
And they need to be pulled out sometimes. It's not enough to say, how are you?
Right.
You look like you're sad, or you look like something went down wrong today. Do you even want to talk about it? And maybe they say, I don't, but later. And you go back to it. Okay, how did it feel?
Sure. Get those emotions from the inside out.
Inside out.
And we'll be back with much more Weekends with Whitney right after this. It's been said if you want to know if a restaurant has a great Sunday brunch, all you need to do is look at their Bloody Marys. And if you look at this, wow, what a selection. We're at La Creole, and we're going to find out how they do it. Good to see you.
Good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Okay,
Great.
so you can have almost anything you want in there.
Yeah, absolutely. You can have anything you want in there. I mean, we go from blue cheese olives to anchovy stuffed olives to maple candied bacon. Then we also have our candied bacon salt that we do in-house. Everything's made in-house, including actually my signature vodka, which I haven't put out here yet.
Oh, you've got a signature
vodka? I do have
vodka?
a signature Bloody Mary vodka that I think it is still out right here.
Oh.
So it's an infused Bloody Mary vodka that I do with actually our roasted smoked tomatoes that we do here.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's really
well,
good. So you want to do that today? You want to try that with the infused?
let's do it.
All
You
right.
bet. I've never had that kind of vodka,
It's
so let's
good.
roll.
All right, we're gonna do a little bit of bacon salt.
How many of these, for everyone who walks in for brunch, how many get one of these?
On average, we get about 10 people getting one. So there's about 10 on average right now, but we're looking to push that a little more. You know.
This will help.
Do you like spicy?
I do. I
Okay.
do very much so.
Very good. Do you like sriracha?
I do. I do.
I'm
We
gonna
don't have to go crazy with the sriracha.
No.
though.
We'll go ahead a little bit right here. Go
All
ahead and
right.
do a little bit more.
Now this reminds me of Everything But the Kitchen Sink. Do you call it that or no?
No, we're not overboard with it. I've seen
Okay.
some overboard. Trust me, you look it up, you'll see a lot of overboard on there. So we're gonna pour a little bit. A little ice in there.
Okay. Turn down the heat.
Definitely turn down the heat. Take a little cocktail stir it up. Do you like shrimp?
I love shrimp.
Boiled or grilled?
Oh, either.
Well, you're getting that candied bacon too, so.
Oh, let's do grilled.
Grilled?
Sure.
Absolutely. Celery?
Please.
Got it.
You know, I need my veggies.
Absolutely. Get a little bit of this in there. We're gonna do blue cheese, anchovy.
Oh.
One of each. A little lemon and lime, of course.
Of course. Wow. Look how beautiful this is coming.
Do a little green beans.
Please.
Okra.
Yes.
All right.
You didn't believe me when I said I
I know
eat really
everything.
just about everything.
I can do everything. Trust me. If you want the everything, I'll make the everything.
Wow.
And then we're going to do grilled shrimp, right?
Please.
And then we'll get a little straw right here. And there you go.
And you did that so quickly, so well, so
I'm kind of
incredibly
used
beautiful.
to it. Absolutely.
Wow. Stay with us. Much more Weekends with Whitney right after this. Wow, it's good.
Thank you.
Atlas Foundation Repair, fixing your foundation problems for more than 30 years while preserving and protecting your trees. Earlier this week, I got a chance to spend some time with some real winners. Matthew Ratcliffe and his daughter Harper won a Weekends with Whitney experience in the Furball silent auction benefiting the Companion Animal Alliance.
Well, I wanted to bring Harper to meet you and see how it all works.
They got to go on a shoot with us. We chose bottle-feeding does, just weeks old. They're Valerie Cook's newest babies. You may remember Valerie. She's Molly Roo, the kangaroo's human mom. She also has dozens of deer. The does get bottle-fed. They'll get up to 5 bottles a day.
The reason we like to bottle raise does is to keep our herds calm, because they're contained inside of a fence, and when we have visitors who come by and visit, we like them to be able to come up to you and just be a lot more calm.
She and her fiance have an exotic pet license to do all this. The passion started more than 30 years ago.
My fiance, Mike Tony, introduced me to it. He has been doing deer, whitetail deer, since he was 16 years old. His aunt brought him a baby about the size of Grace, and he just got a love for the animal.
They share that love with others. Harper sure loved it.
Say hi there.
What was it like for you?
They're very tiny. They made a little cute squeak.
It's a wonderland here. Harper even got to give Molly Roo a bottle and meet the moms of these does. Sharing these experiences is part of the joy for Valerie. So is her nighttime alone time with these does.
Snuggling at night, usually after I get through bottle feeding them, I'll wrap them up in a towel and we'll sit on the couch and watch TV together, and I'll just rub them, just loving on the babies.
By the time they're 6 months old, they'll be living back here with the rest of the herd. But while they're babies, they'll get babied. Thanks so much for spending part of your Sunday here with us on Weekends with Whitney. Hope to see you back here same time next week, 8 a.m. But until then, you can always follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. But right now, we leave you with this.